Bro, Dad give you like $50 if you can go stay in 1408 for like an hour. You know, you think you can make it for like an hour?
As my boy, Dr. Phil says, bullshit.
What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Will Hunting. It's your boy Brad. The Brett Man's over there. Today we're going to be giving you a review for the movie 1408, another film, another story rather, written by Stephen King, as we are moving towards our Summer Slash Tournament, 32 of the best Stephen King movies, where we're going to be finding one winner at the end of this month. Really excited for it. Again, we've been watching a lot of these movies, and we figured now's a good time to hit some of these reviews up. 1408, another underrated gem. Are you excited to do this one?
Dude, absolutely. I'm excited to do this one. This is, I would say, definitely a classic Stephen King one, like from a movie realm. And before we really dive into this, two quick things. The first thing being that this is going to be a spoiler review. So if you've not seen 1408, we suggest you to go watch this movie and come back to hear our thoughts about this movie. Again, spoiler review. And secondly, for the Summer Slash Tournament, the bracket for that is in the description down below of this video. Click the link for it, fill out your bracket, turn into your boys for a potential prize if you're lucky enough.
I love it. I love it. So this movie came out in 2007, Birdie. I know you want to tell us about the director. I know you're very fond of
Oh,
his,
yeah. Brad wants to throw me underneath the bus with because I love mispronouncing directors' names. And damn one, this one takes the cake. And I ate it all, too. So the director of this movie for 1408 is Miguel Hafstrom. That's going to be the best way I do it. So if you want to make fun of me in the comment section, go ahead and do it right now.
It's all good. Anytime I can't pronounce a name, I defer it over to I punt it to Brett, man, and let him.
It's just more funnier when I do it.
Like. Exactly. It's always it works out better that way. Yeah, dude. It's about this dude, John Cusack's the main character in this. He's like this writer, right? And he basically stays at all these like creepy ass haunted hotels and writes about how full of shit they are. And that's like his whole life. He's a skeptic. He doesn't believe any of this stuff, but he profits off of it. And he ends up going to this he gets a postcard in the mail to stay at the fucking Dolphin Inn. And he's like, hey, man, stay out of the 1408 room. Don't go there. And then, yeah, he gets there and Samuel L. Jackson's there. He's like, hey, man, don't stay in that room. I'm telling you, it's going to fuck you up. Nobody ever lasts more than an hour in there. He said, fuck that. I'm going to go in there and stay. Once he gets in there, dude, it starts like the most fucking horrific hour of all time. And it just fucking repeats until he fucking, there's no decision left to make other than fucking jumping out a window or whatever. That's like what this room does. It's crazy.
I love the story into this of like a skeptic about like these horror like legends like being BS or not. And then when we get to room 1408, this shit, it's for real. And I love kind of like stories like that. And just to see kind of like, and plus this is also another movie could kind of, and I know depending on when this video comes out, we did the double features for the horror movies. Someone actually brought it to my attention, 1408 with The Shining. And I can see the comparison to that because of the descension into madness with the main character, which, Brad, I know your main complaint is Jack Nicholson, or he is crazy and all that. But John Cusack, which to me, very underrated actor. I think he should get more love with his performances, especially like an Identity. Like, dude, my gosh, yeah, that movie. But yeah, John Cusack in this movie, his descension into madness was very well done. And another thing too, Brad, where you say like don't go to room 1408, they should do like the meme of like, that one guy behind the tree in the yellow suit going 1408.
Dude, one of the best things about the movie is like in that first act is this fucking how much this hotel room gets talked up by Samuel L. Jackson. Like how much this freaking, how it's scary. Before he even steps foot in there, I was like, man, I really don't want to go in this room. I'm kind of like that maintenance guy that comes up and tells him how to fix a thermostat, and he bolts before he even turns around. That would be me. I'm like, I don't even want to go in there because of how much Samuel L's talking about it. He's doing a damn good job of like telling us all about how crazy this room is, how evil it is. It's what do you say? It's one evil motherfucking room or something like that. If he didn't say that, that would have been a good opportunity.
That's the other thing too. I believe this is a PG-13 movie, and if it's true,
it is.
Gosh, what an effective horror movie for a PG-13. How to do it correctly.
It's psychologically tormenting. I think, it's like, so John Cusack's character, you find out as the movie progresses that him and his wife, they lost their daughter, their kid daughter to like cancer. And this movie just basically keeps making him replay that brings her back to life just to kill her off again. And that's like the worst fucking hour you can ever imagine. He's in this room dealing with that. And then it's like at the end of that hour, it's like, hey, we can do this all over again, maybe even worse, or you can fucking check out the hard way. The room's got like what, 50 different suicides that's happened in it over the last 100 years. And you're trying to figure out like what's going on here in this room to cause all these deaths to happening. But it's basically, you can imagine every one of those deaths, every one of those suicides, somebody's going through that same crazy amount of psychological torment that John Cusack did. And until the point where they just have to fucking end it. There's no getting out of this room, man. It's crazy. You get in there, the fucking door breaks, then the brick walls are going up. He tries to do the ledge thing and walk over to the next room, but there's no fucking other room once he gets out there, Birdie. It's just bricks that keeps going forever. Crazy shit.
Dude, I'm there. That's why I was like, oh crap. Because like literally the John Cusack did every single thing I think a logical person would do in a situation like that on how to get out of the room. He did every single way. So he like immediately once he did that every single way and it's proven like nothing is going to work. You as a viewer go like, oh shit, what the hell do you do in a situation like this? Are you like, again, like, are you going to wait a couple of minutes and hopefully somebody opens that damn room, or like just go out a different way because she can't take it anymore?
Because that's one of the scary things about it. Just being stuck in the damn room is enough. But this room is doing so much beyond that to just drive him over the edge. It's insane. And it's got all the control. There's nothing you can do. He makes contact with his wife on his phone, on his computer. And the fucking computer starts talking like, and acting like it's John Cusack and be like, yeah, get your ass up here. We're having a party up in 1408. Bring your champagne. Apparently they actually went up and checked in the room. He wasn't in there. Like the people in the hotel did. Like it was wild. It's a completely different like world he's in there. Obviously it gets to some crazy points, but it starts off kind of, the buildup is pretty like slow. At first it's just like, the toilet paper gets fixed. Like after he uses some of it, it gets re-rolled and the bed gets redone up and there's mints being left behind, but then it gets cranked
and
up.
the alarm clock.
The alarm clock was great, dude. We've only just begun. It's like that thing was good. That thing scared
R.I.P. Carl Weathers. Damn Gator. But yeah, man, like all that. And then of course when we get to the final act of it, like he does fall off I think a pretty smart solution. It's like, I'll definitely make sure to get notice here, and sets the damn room on fire. Like, whether he makes it out or not is not the issue. It's just he's destroying that room to make sure it doesn't hurt anybody else ever again. And dude, very effective way.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, that was his strategy. He's like, okay, I'm going to have to go out. I'm taking you with me, talking to the room. There's no other options here. So yeah, he Molotovs it. He dies in the fire, but yeah, like you said, he dies a hero. He mentions like as he's burning up, he's like, I lived a selfish life, but I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to do something selfless, and that's kind of like the whole point of his character growth there. But yeah, like he at the beginning of the movie, he is kind of he leaves his wife after their tragic loss. He's kind of a dick to his father. There's even like a dream sequence in this thing that's really good, where he's like he reconnects with his ex, or I guess it's still his actual wife. He reconnects with her. They try to like rekindle the relationship a little bit. He reconnects with his father. He's like writing a good book for once, and he's all excited about life again. But then he gets pulled right back into the room. It's an epic fake out.
Yeah, was it the Arctic room, like when he got pulled back in, or like was that before the dream? Like I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, that was before the dream. The Arctic room was. I think it might have been right before it. He gets boosted out. He gets kicked back into reality. So he thinks the whole thing's a dream. And he's out there, he's, doing everything right in life. He's excited. He goes to the post office to mail off a damn letter overnight. And then all of a sudden the guys just start fucking tearing the room down, and it becomes the 1408 room. Very good, effective, because you actually think the movie's like, oh, it's over. He wins. It's just all about making yourself a better person. It's fantastic. But no, he gets sucked right back in there. He takes that hope, deletes it. And now we're back to square one. And like you said, he ends up at the end, burning the room down, dying. I like the ending. I like movies where you have to it's not always a happy ending per se. And we got that in The Mist. We got that here at 1408. I like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's just a thing I was thinking about too. Man, what a character. Like, I know 1408 is just a room, but really, honestly, it's a character itself. And to see that between that character of 1408 and John Cusack going at it the entirety of the film, because going just by yourself, like just individually like John Cusack did, it's a very tough task to do, because you have to keep the story interesting, and you have to keep yourself as a character interesting. I think they just knocked it out of the park all the way around, all around, especially with the character of the antagonist of The Room 1408.
And shout out too to Samuel L. Jackson. We talked about him briefly earlier. I thought he was, this was kind of like a more reserved role for him. He wasn't super over the top like he usually is. Very solid, like little side character. He's barely in the movie, but like when he's in there, he's effective.
It's like he's like the perfect side character when you really need a perfect side character. So Samuel L. Jackson did his job. He built up The Room, built up the anticipation, because I love that too. Like I love when you're building up something. Like for like my favorite example, that's the speech before we meet Hannibal Lecter for the first time. So I like what Samuel L. Jackson did, building up 1408 before we even step foot inside of it. So you know the dangers, but you're kind of like with John Cusack. I don't know, this is kind of too good to be true. Let's step foot inside this room with John Cusack and let's tear up some shit and let's tear up some theories. But instead, they tear up some part more as well. And plus, 1408 is such a dick. Like you said earlier, like they build up John Cusack as a pretty much a dick at the beginning, and then at the end, so he's finally like learned the error of his ways, becomes a good person. 1408, I say, oh, I'm so glad. But yeah, you're still going to be in here and just like this is my man. What a dick! Like,
I know it was ridiculous, man. I think they like that's kind of the point where it's like, oh, you did good. I'm going to give you like another minute with your daughter. Is that was his reward? But then they fucking killed her again, so it was like it wasn't much of a reward. It was a fucking shit show. At that point, yeah, I would just pound the rest of that fucking bourbon that was left in there and just call it a day. This was only the second time I've seen the movie. And it's much better than I remembered. I think I watched it like probably 10 years ago, not long after it came out, honestly. And I was like, oh, it's decent. But now, where I'm at now as a movie fan, I liked it a lot more, I think. And glad I rewatched it. Very solid. I think I'd give this a 4 out of 5. Very solid 4 out of 5.
Nice. I'm going to give this as just a 4.25 because giving that little extra 0.25 towards our boy on John Cusack, because again, I think he's criminally underrated. I think he needs more love or appreciation as an actor, because anything I seen him in, he just does a phenomenal job. In this movie, great story, great concept, good cast, and this is very effectively well done for me. I really enjoyed the hell out of this one. What did you all think about Room 1408? Did you really enjoy this movie, or did you have some problems with this movie? And a quick question to go along with all this, would you stay in Room 1408? Let us know in that comment section down below. Let's get that discussion rolling.
I'll do you one better. You have to stay in either 1408 or 217 or 237, whatever you want, from The Shining.
Which Stark bitch cut.
Yeah, that's for real. I'm going to 237 all day. I'm taking my lady in the tub. Maybe just close my eyes after the first couple minutes and just really enjoy the experience. Hang on and hope for a good ride. 1408, I want nothing to do with. At least 237 you can get out of. So yeah, I'm not doing that. Either way, if you want to help us find the good reels, all of our links are right down there in the description. You can do so right down there.
Absolutely. Of course, the bracket link for the Summer/Slash tournament for Best Stephen King Movie is in the description of this video. Click the link, fill out your bracket, and send it to your boys for a potential prize if your bracket is good enough.
I love prizes. Of course, that tournament's going to be at the end of the month. I'm excited about it.
Hell yeah. So guys, without further ado, Brad, I forgot to tell you, I am out of town for the upcoming week. And funny enough, I'm going to Room 1408. So wish me luck and I'll see you, or maybe not.
See you in an hour, pal. No!